guys, so today's video, I'll be talking about how it took me 4 years to start studying in Germany. So guys, this story is just absolutely crazy. Like, if I knew this was gonna happen, I would have never moved to Germany, or I probably would have never moved at that time. Right? So it was such hell to get into university here, guys. So such hell. And in my head, I was like, I had it all planned out. I just didn't think it could be that difficult. Like, people study after high school, right? That's what I thought, right? But that was not the case for me. And a lot of people came to Germany and had it way easier and with studying. I mean, like, a lot of people came to Germany and started studying way easier, but this was just for me. I just had some kind of bad luck. I don't know. So this is my story. This doesn't go for everyone. That's just my short disclaimer, right? So, anyways, my story goes something like this, right, guys? So I came here in 2013 in October, and my first mission was to learn the language as fast as I could, right? So I'm like, okay, after I know German, then I can study and everything will be good. So I went and I went to this German course and I learned German. And guys, if you want to see how I learned German, there's already a video up about how I learned German, so you can go ahead and watch that video first if you like. But anyways, I learned German like that, and then say by August or so, I was ready to start studying now. I'm like, okay, my German is okay, I could start studying. But little did I know, little did I know what was gonna come my way, right? So, guys, this is such a long story. Get your popcorns ready and stuff. Where do I even start? So, guys, it all started when I went to Goethe University here in Frankfurt, right? And I brought to them my, what would you call it? My report sheet from Jamaica, CSEC, you know? I brought it to them and they did their checking up if I could study there. They're like, nah, your report card isn't enough to study here. You should have done Cape in Jamaica. So, like, for me, I was a bit confused because I know that people can just like do CXC and go and study right after, at least to my knowledge in Jamaica. Like, okay, I'm not so informed of how the system is there, but as far as I know, you can do CXC, then you can study. Some do Cape, it's considered college, and then you can go to university. Or, yeah, but here there's no college, right? There's only university. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm going to university now. Somehow they're saying, no, you should have done Cape in Jamaica. This is not enough. So I'm like, okay, then what do I do now? So with that news, I was like, okay, what do I do? So then I started looking at high schools down here, right? And I went to, in Germany, you have so many different types of schools, right? It's so complicated. Like, you have a Gesamtschule for everyone. Then you have the top schools, what they call Gymnasien, that goes up to the 13th grade, I believe. Not even sure. And then you have Fachoberschule, which is like just the 11th and 12th grade, where you can go and major in something like business or anything you want to major in, basically. Right? So, first, being that I'm from Jamaica, right? I'm like, I want to go into this top school. I can do it. I want to go there. And back at the time, too, I had this mentor lady, right? I found her while I was learning German still at that German course. They introduced me to a mentor and stuff, and she was good help for a time being, right? So she was helping me and stuff, and I was telling her, I want to go to the top school. I want to go to the gymnasium here. Since I'm not good enough to study, I probably could maybe get into the 12th and 13th grade, I think it was. I'm not even sure if they have 12th grade. It's either 12 or 13, I forgot. Anyways, actually, I think it's just 12th grade. Anyways, the point is that I was saying I want to go there and do those 2 years and then I can go and study. In my head was logical, right? But this lady now, my mentor, believe you, she was very discouraging, disheartening, like, no, it will be too hard for you, you shouldn't go there. You won't manage. I'm like, hey, do you know what I just survived in Jamaica? I survived CXC, man. In my head, like, I did not expect to do so well in my C-sex subjects. So I'm like, if I could do CXC, I can do anything else. Because when I remember when I was in the 7th grade, guys, I was like, CXC just sounded so big and over the top. I'm like, dang, how am I gonna do? And this sounds so serious. And wow, my whole future depends on it. And all these things. And then I did so well with my C-sex, and I'm like, now in life I can do anything. But this lady is coming now telling me, nah, it's too hard for you. You shouldn't do that one. You should go to the Fachhochschule and just major in business and stuff. And somehow she convinced me for some reason, I don't know. And we started applying. But then there was a catch to that too, guys, right? So we call it FOS here, Fachhochschule. And it's like, for the first year, 11th grade, you do half work, half school, like half internship, half school. Then the 12th grade is just pure school. Then you have your report, right? So the difficult part was finding the internship. Which company will I do it with? It was so hard, like everything was such a time crunch. The school year was going to start in August, and right before that, we're searching, still even deciding, figuring out stuff. So it was so hard for me to even find that internship, but somehow, by the grace of God, I found an internship on the same day that was the deadline. So, funny enough, on the last day, I managed to find an internship. This was my mom's place of work. It was really like my last resort, I guess, and I really got lucky, right, guys? So my mom is working in social field, and I now ended up in the accounting for that company, right? Or should I say non-profit. And then it was so funny. Like, I feel like that guy was just so sorry for me, and he took me, and yeah, I got the internship, right? So then I was able to do my FOS, and I could just start. But the only thing that sucked with that was, okay, I was so happy I have something now. But my problem was that I'll have to repeat 11th grade again. I'm gonna lose a whole year. Like, dang. So somehow I wasn't really happy, and that mentor lady, she was just so discouraging that we got rid of her. And I tried the whole gymnasium thing again, because I thought maybe this thing all happened so close together, so it probably even happened in the same time frame where I was trying to get internship and trying to get into that school and stuff. But in that same time, we got rid of this weird mentor lady, and I went back to the gymnasium because I'm like, I want to go to the top school. But one thing I learned here in Germany is that it's not like Jamaica with no top and no bottom or nothing like that. It's like they all have their different purposes. Let's put it like that, right? And later in life, I found out that the gymnasium was nothing for me, anyways, because all they do there are science subjects, and I'm from the business field, right? So, like, wouldn't have been any good, anyways, but I didn't know that anyway. I didn't know that back then. Yeah, guys. So, we got rid of the lady, and me with my stubborn self, I was like, I'm gonna try those gymnasium and see, and la la la, and I went back and forth there. Guys, one big thing I forgot to mention too is that even though I had to, first requirement was to have the internship, right? I have a company to do it with. That that was the first requirement of this FOS school that I wanted to go. And then there was a next requirement that the gymnasium, every school basically wanted me to translate my Jamaican report sheet, right? And it was such a big problem at first. And I believe I sent my report sheet to be translated so many months earlier, right? This is back when I had a mentor and she helped me with all that and stuff, and we sent it away to get translated. It's not just like language wise, but also like to look at if the level of schooling there is the same as here, and all the schools were requiring it in order to get in and stuff. And that was one big problem, was that they were taking so long to translate these things, and the school year was fast approaching, and I'm like, hurry up people, I need it, right? And it was such a pain. I still remember that FOS, they took me without it. Somehow they just saw that I had the internship and they're like, yeah, you can come. But one funny story too is that I remember when I went to the gymnasium now, in the same time period while I was still hunting, like what will I do and stuff. I went to the gymnasium and they're like, yeah, you need that translation or else nothing will happen. I'm like, the year is fast approaching, can't we start and then you get it later? Like, I was sure that I'm the same level as they are, just different language, right? But then I was talking to this guy, he was like so negative. Nah, you could be probably ninth grade for us. Or, they had a way to put it like that. I'm like, you really think us Jamaicans are just so stupid and we come from some far, far bush? I just felt so disrespected, like these people think like all foreigners, we're not at the same level as them or something. So I was like, dang. So they weren't gonna let me in without that translation. But anyways, the other school let me in and I could start and I was good. But funny enough, later on in life, I believe maybe 2 months or so later, 3 months even, that translation came and it said I already had Dear Abby. What would you call it? It's like RCXC is Dear Abby here. It's like it's equivalent, it's the same level as what they are. So basically they're saying the 12th grade here is equivalent to the 11th grade in Jamaica, right? Which is crazy that the guy was just disrespecting me that maybe I'm at their 9th grade level or something. But I was like, dang, I don't even need to do this school anymore since this is equivalent to the 12th grade. Like what I did in Jamaica was equivalent to the 12th grade here. So I'm like, okay, then there's no need for me to do FOS. I can just go and study. So then this was where I was so confused. I'm like, okay, I can study, but I already went to the university. That was the first thing I did, mind you guys. And they said, no, you need CAPE. So I'm like, how does this make sense? You go to the university, they have like their own way of measuring whatever they're measuring. One, the school systems, they want you to translate it, they tell you how far you are. But then when you go to the university, somehow they look at whatever documents you do back home and then they say what you should have. So I was so confused. So I'm like, okay, but now I have a document that is saying I don't need to do FOS. I don't need the 11th and 12th grade again because my report sheet from Jamaica is equivalent to that and I have proof from German place, like, yeah, with stamp on it and everything. I'm like, okay, so what do I do now? I was just so confused. I remember still going to my internship classes and stuff. I'm like, nah, maybe I can study. So then I tried another university here in Frankfurt. And in my head, that was also, I don't know who introduced it to me like this or whatever, but like, in my head, I had the impression like, okay, this is not such a good university or whatever, like how Jamaicans would class everything. But turns out it's on the same level, you get the same bachelor in the end and everything. So there's just no class systems in Germany, right? So funny enough, I went there and guys, those people told me that I can study. I was over the moon. I'm like, yes, I don't have to do the 11th grade all over again. And I don't have to do the 12th grade all over because I'm equivalent to their CXC here and and but there was a catch, guys, so I had to learn German. Well, I knew German, but like there's a specific test that you have to do and like you have to submit, that report sheet from the test to prove that you have the right amount of German and you can enroll, right? So I was like, okay, I can do that. That for me was like, I'd rather do that than to do 2 years of school. So I'm like, I'll do the test. So I remind you guys, I didn't just quit that high school thing, right? I was still going to my work, my internship, and I was still doing school. And on the side, I was preparing myself for this exam, this German exam. Because in my head, I was like, nah, I'm not doing 2 years. Maybe I'll just do this for 1 year and then I can study. So I can do the fast route. I don't need the 2 years like the others, That was in my head, that's what I thought. So anyway, guys, I prepared myself for this German exam on the side in order to study at this university because I'm like, yeah, I don't need these 2 years, right? So I prepared myself. I eventually went and did the exam and I had to pay for this exam, mind you. And funny enough, there are even courses that you can take to pass this exam. It's called test staff, and a next one you could also do. It's the same. And I just bought books and prepared myself basically because courses are so expensive here somehow, and I figured I can prepare myself well with these books. So I did that, prepared myself, and I went in and I did the exam the first time and I didn't pass. Like, I believe we did in writing, speaking, talking, and listening, right? I believe in one of them I was too low, right? Like a few marks too low. Then you have to do this again. And then the second time I did it, they have like different dates so you can repeat. So I had a time span in between again, prepared again, whatever, did it again. I passed the second time, thank you Jesus, and then I was like, yeah, I can study now. I was still in the 11th grade and stuff, doing my thing on the side and everything. And then I'm like, okay. So when those results came in, I'm like, yeah, now I can finally apply for university. Yeah, this was like what now? Almost 2 years of being in Germany, right? I'm like, yeah, now I can apply. But no, not so easy. Anyway, so I applied. I sent my Jamaican report sheet. I sent the German test, just like they asked me. And I waited and I waited and I waited and I got some email, not email, I think it was a letter, a letter saying, nope, you cannot study. That's not enough. And it's so crazy. I'm still thinking, what did they tell me? I think they also told me the same thing, like my report isn't enough. And that's exactly where I was like so confused. And at that point I really did regret coming to Germany. Like, I'm like, how is this so confusing? How? I have a paper from German government people, whoever they are, saying that my CXC is equivalent to their CXC here, which ends at the 12th grade, mind you. But at the same time, now I have two universities telling me, no, you're not qualified. Because the thing is, like, here, the translation agency, whatever you want to call them, like, they had a different system. I don't know how they marked it. And then the university had a different system. I don't know how they marked it. But I guess they're saying you didn't do CAPE as well. But they didn't state the reason really. But I think it was along the lines like the report isn't enough. So I was like, okay, damn you guys. Okay, I'll just do the 12th grade. Because at that point, I was already done with the 11th grade, right? So I was like, okay, then I just need to do the 12th grade and I'll be fine. It's just one more year. After this year, you can study. So I went ahead, I did the 12th grade. And the 12th grade was without the internship. So we just did school straight and it was good. I was so motivated, guys. I wish these days that I had that level of motivation that I had back then. I was so motivated. So motivated to get the good grades because I knew that was the report card that was going to get me into uni, right? So I'm like trying to get those good grades and stuff. And remind you, I'm new to Germany. My German isn't good. I remember even how I used to study for these exams, right? I really used to, I really used to, what do you call it, memorize all the questions and everything. Like the whole notes I had was in my head somehow, with the full stop, the comma, everything. Because in German, you write with so many commas, and the thing is, like, I knew that I would not be able to write it as nicely put in German, so I remembered how I would explain everything. The whole sentence I would memorize, like the whole paragraph, I should say. I would memorize everything, so that even in the exam, you wouldn't even realize that my German is bad, because I memorized the whole correct way how to write it and stuff. That's how I used to study, man. I was so motivated. I'd come home, I'd do my homework for the test. Look, those teachers were really admiring me. I remember this one lady, she was like, dang, girl. I don't know how you do it, but you do it. The one subject that was mashing me up was really German. I kept on getting fives here. In Germany, there's a different grading system. I mean, we did have the same grading system in the end in CSEC, where you get one, twos, threes, fours. I think, how is it? I think a five. Yeah, it's the same, like, yeah, we have the same grading system, but that's only in CSEC, where you get your last final results, you get one, two, three, or whatever, right? So it's the same here in Germany, where you can get one, two, three, and going down. But like saying in Jamaica, you go up in high school, it's always 90%, 80%, or your average is this and that and that. Here, it wasn't like that, right? So we had the ones and twos and threes and stuff. So I remember I always would get a four in German, or even a five in some tests. And I remember in the end they do the average, so that's why I could allow myself to get fives in between. Not even allow myself, like I really tried my best, but trust you all, like it was so hard that those German tests was just like, it's not for foreigners now, so I did so bad. I remember in Germany too, the school system here is like, or it's set up like, whenever they're telling you your grades, like the teacher goes, sits outside on a bench with his desk, and the students got their 1-1, and he tells you like your grade in his subject for the last year. And when I went out there and he told me like I had a 4 in German, or a 5, I had a 4 or a 5. I think it was a 4 in the end. But and he told me, and I just broke down crying. I was like, dang, that hurts. Like I tried so badly, and the teacher was like, yeah, I see, you'll make it. Don't worry, you're just here 2 years, or whatever the case was. Like, it was tough. My German was good enough to understand and get around and talk and whatever, but the writing is the worst. Up to this day, after 7 years, I'm struggling in the writing department. So can you imagine? So, anyways, I remember breaking down and stuff. But yeah, I survived 11th grade, and then I went to the 12th grade. Like I was saying, that was the year where I was so motivated. I got all the good grades and stuff, and eventually, I finished the 12th grade, guys. I was so happy that I finally finished the 12th grade. I don't know, and I did so well. I was proud of myself. I believe in Jamaica, I had 2.0, and then in Germany now, here I got 2.2. So it wasn't even far from my grade back home. So I feel so proud of myself. Like somehow I was just never I was just never the kid to get all ones or anything like that. I was just always content with my twos and stuff, and I kept it up in Germany, being that it's a foreign language. And I was just so proud. I'm like, dang, I did it. Like 2.2, great. So proud of myself. So, anyways, then it was time for me, like, then nobody can stop me now to study. I'm gonna study this, that, and nobody will stop me now, right? So that was what now? 3 years? We're at 3 years, right? So it's like, what can stop me now? Now I have my German report sheet. Nobody can tell me, oh, it's not enough or blah blah. This is German report sheet. And also one good thing was that I wouldn't have to do a German test again, or even though I already did all of them and I passed eventually, but I still wouldn't have to do anything extra. I could just apply like a normal student with my German report sheet, and that was cool. So the first time around, I was a bit stupid, I guess. I only applied for this one university that I knew I wanted to study this one course, this one program that I wanted to study, right? So I only applied for that one university, and I believe I applied for two programs actually. One was international finance, and one was international business. What? One was international finance, and one was international business administration. I think it was those two. Yeah, to my surprise, guys, they did not let me in. I was like, 2.2 is a good grade. Why didn't these people let me in? I was so mad. I'm like, dang, I have to wait a whole half year now to apply again. And that's how it all happened, guys. So, funny enough, let me tell you. Like, after I graduated the 12th grade, I got a job at McDonald's. This was my first job. I'm very proud of it. Don't have nothing against. It was my first time making some good money like that, you know. My first time making some big bucks. Yeah, and yeah, so I was working there at the time. I actually had even the interview on the same day as the graduation. So I went to the interview, got the job, and then went to the graduation ceremony after that. And it was a good vibe and stuff. So, anyways, after I got denied university, I said, okay, let me just work until I can apply again. And you see, the second time when I applied, guys, I wasn't stupid this time. I'm like, I'm gonna apply to every university that is in the region. Not just in Frankfurt, I'm applying in Wiesbaden, in Fulda, in Darmstadt, in where else? In Kassel, like everywhere around Frankfurt, like places that I would probably have to um drive like 2 hours out to go maybe to some of these unis and back. But I was like, I'm gonna study, and one of them will take me. So I applied for them all, guys, and I remember I was working still at the time and stuff, and the results slowly came in from each university, right? So I believe the one from Fulda came in first, and they said, wow, you got accepted to study this and that. And let me tell you guys, the all universities, I kind of chose stuff within business and stuff, but the one I really wanted to do obviously was here in Frankfurt, and it was international finance. I really wanted to study too, and the others were like similar, but they weren't like the same. So I'm like, they were all in the business field. I guess I would have taken them, right? So, but anyways, those people told me yes. I was so happy, guys, so happy that I got a yes. And for the longest while in my head, okay, I'm gonna study in full now, no problem, yeah. And then came in the application from, what would you call it? The answer from Wiesbaden University. And they also said yes. I'm like, dang, two universities said yes. Okay, now I have a choice. And then so they slowly started coming in, all the answers. And then turns out all the universities said yes in the end, besides the one in Frankfurt. I'm like, dang, Shadow, like so sad. All of them said yes besides the one in Frankfurt. But I'll choose one. Yeah, so I think the one I was gonna choose was the one in Wiesbaden actually. But I don't even quite remember anymore. But anyways, I was always waiting on that last one from Frankfurt. Like I didn't get any mail from them or anything. So I was just waiting, but they took like forever, and in my head I'm like, okay, I have so many already, I'll just go to one of them. But eventually I got it, and they said I had the Plätze. And because I applied for two programs there, I got, like they said I was accepted for both programs, so I had to choose which one. So eventually my dreams came true, and I got the program I wanted, even the both of them. And I'm like, dang, so why didn't this work out the first time? Like, why did me coming to Germany have to be so hard? Like, I don't understand why it was such a tough journey for me. Like, I went through so much just to study. That's how it took me 4 years, guys. 4 years. It's crazy. If I think about it, it's so crazy. Remember the day I got that yes that I can study there. Oh, I was just so proud. I finally made it. So guys, later on in life, I found out why I didn't get in the first time, right? So it was like maybe they take just say 50% of new people, 50% of people that are on the waiting list. And what this waiting list is basically for people that don't have very good grades. Every year that you wait to get into uni, it's like your grade improves somehow, or not that your grade improves, but they would have seen that you're waiting to get in there, so they would let you in somehow, even though probably you started with a 3 point something. The more you wait, you'll be letting in one of these terms, right? Somehow they do it like that. So I just figured maybe that's why I didn't get in at first. They had so many of those people that they were letting in, and then I came in after. Yeah, funny story. I don't know how it happened. But guys, yeah, that's why it took me 4 years to started studying in Germany after coming to Germany to study. It's such a crazy long story, and if I knew that it was gonna be this crazy, I would not have moved here at all. Like, and then it's so funny, like for my sister, she did not lose any years somehow. She was blessed. She just she was just gonna start high school in Jamaica. So when she came here, even though it was harder for her to start her German course and stuff, or it took her longer, I should say, she got into the school system right away. The same grade that she would be in Jamaica, she got in here. So she didn't lose any years, but I lost 4 years just coming here to study. So all my friends in Jamaica, they were ahead of me. Yeah, that's the rough story. Yeah. So now I'm still even studying, but I'll be done I'll be done next year in December, hopefully. Yeah. So guys, you've made it to the end of my video. Please like this video. Comment down below. Let me know if you've had a similar experience somehow. I don't know how you would have a similar experience, but yeah, comment down below. Share the video, guys, and subscribe. Peace. See you next time.